I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
This is Cinema Classics.
Indeed. Indeed it is.
And 7852. What the heck kind of a title is that?
That's Hitchcock's pants size. That was Hitchcock's pants size. So,
Well,
it was an interesting title, an interesting way to go. No, 7852 is a documentary currently in theaters and or online. You can see it online. I rented it off of iTunes last night.
Okay.
Those numbers reference the camera setups and number of shots that were required to create what many people consider one of the greatest sequences in cinema history, the shower scene in Psycho.
3 minutes of horror.
Yeah.
And how the man did it is the subject of this documentary. I contend if you love movies, you will love to see this.
Yeah.
If you love Hitchcock, you must see it.
Yeah, it really is, for film fans, a delight.
Oh.
Because so few moviegoers these days just stop for a minute to, how many, well, we're different because we're film critics, so when we walk out of a movie theater, we are often talking about what we just saw, but I don't feel like those conversations are happening the way they used to. I don't feel like moviegoers are talking about, at least they're not talking about the meaning of shots, subtext,
Sure.
Technique, how a filmmaker elicits certain emotions. It was so much fun to see, how deeply these people were thinking about this film. There was another film a few years ago, what was it, Room 227, or what was it, 230? What is I'm screwing it up right now. The title of the documentary that was about The Shining and all the wacko theories.
Oh yeah, Room. Yeah, I forgot the numbers.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, all right.
But like that, right?
Yeah, because
and not quite so. These people, this panel of experts that they have in 7852, aren't so out there as some of those.
No, they're
wacky
not,
theories.
and they're not nerdy. It's not talking heads. They're actually people interested in film who are interested in Hitchcock and who realize that this may be the most influential 3 minutes of film in film history by one of the true geniuses of American film and of world film.
And I think that's one of the key gifts that this movie gives audiences, is putting that movie in its proper historical context, leading you up to it, telling you what audiences hadn't seen, what they could or could not expect from Hitchcock. I love the fact that he does this right after North by Northwest.
Yes.
So in 1959, he has this great Cary Grant, James Mason, Eva Marie Saint adventure, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful colors, globe-trotting,
very romantic,
across the country
thriller.
Right. High-class production.
Yes.
Then he turns around and does this sordid little black and white piece.
Yes.
Anthony Perkins.
He wasn't even sure what he had. Hey, but Hitch was just so slightly perverse.
Yeah.
He knew it would be influential, but he didn't know.
And he also knew that scene was going to be, he wanted to lavish special attention on it. There's a great little sequence in the movie where a guy reads the passage from the book.
Yes.
And, it's very quick.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's not...
No,
but what he does here with putting us in the shower with her, playing with our perspective, how it changes from one side of the shower to the other, seeing the figure come from behind the opaque shower curtain. It's all, I love the circle motif, the toilet, the drain, the shower head, the eye. It's brilliant.
You gotta love having the lady who was Janet Leigh's double, giving you all the commentary on what it was like for her to be in that. I loved it. Even dragging her out of the tub became important for her. It became important for me. You mentioned on our radio discussion, you mentioned the fact that there was so much more than just technique, and I just couldn't agree more. There are thematic topics that these guys and ladies talk about the film, as you and I love to do after we get through. It's not It's the whole art form. It's the shots and how they fit into an overall vision.
Right. Let me ask you this. So, Norman Bates goes into the adjacent room, and there's the painting on the wall.
Yes.
That he lifts the painting off, and then there's this hole torn through
the
wall, and then the peephole, right? And this guy, one of the subjects of the film, discusses the painting that he lifts off and gives you the context of that painting.
That's right.
And what that means. And is there a filmmaker out there today? Is there a filmmaker working today, besides maybe Wes Anderson or Scorsese or Spielberg, that's thinking like that? That's layering, texturing their films with that kind of thought?
You're reminding me how much I love The Graduate.
Yeah.
And how that shot at the top of the stairs has a painting of a clown.
Yeah.
It passes by, the camera passes by quickly. But if you stop it and look at it, you understand why he has placed that clown painting right there at the head of the stairs as Benjamin, played by Dustin Hoffman, is about ready to make a fool of himself.
Yeah.
And how much there is of the clown there. Anyway, yes, exactly right. How much attention do you... I'll tell you why we don't have the same attention to detail, because we are so caught up in the technical aspects of filmmaking these days.
Right.
It's a much broader scope. It's explosions on other planets is what we're about.
Yeah.
Here you are, we're talking about
something small, something human, something terrifying. And how, it's really great. It is, the scene is not violent by today's standards.
Yeah.
And yet it's so beautifully constructed. And it's interesting that it has given way to so much violence, to so much explicit, gory violence.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't. That's kind of a fascinating thing to me. Another thing that I love about this movie, and then we'll have to wrap up, is, I think too often contemporary audiences look back on classic films, older films, and dismiss them. It's stodgy, it's slow, the acting is different. People weren't dumber. People were not dumber.
And many directors were coming off of the stage tradition of the 19th century, 20th century, and trying to bring that into... So a little bit of that, even Hitchcock, is stagey in some points.
Yeah, well, also cameras were about the size of a small car. It was like a car to go. Yes. That's what they were shooting. Like, they had a car to go, So, anyway, the film is 78:52, and as you said earlier, it's not just for Hitchcock fans. If you're a movie lover, if you're a cinephile, the way they break this movie down is really a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you have, as I do, have a girlfriend or two who won't take a shower anymore, you'll know why.
Girlfriend or two.